It's so great to be talking to you guys. Congratulations on the movie. I wanted to start by talking that Alexander is based on a very popular series of books, and I saw an interview of you, Eva, the other day when you said that this kid has had a lot of bad days in his life. What do you guys think makes this story, this new story about Alexander, unique and stand on its own?
Marvin.
Okay. What makes it unique? Well, one, I think, is that it's a Latino family going through essentially an action movie, an action comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I don't think we get to see very often. And I think that's what really drew me to it.
Yeah. Well, and also, it's a comedy, and I love doing comedies, and I wanted to do a movie that my son could watch, that I could watch with my son. So I love movies like this. This is like right up our alley.
And it was so fun to make too, just getting together and working with so many beautiful people, and the cast and the crew, all of them are just so amazing. And we were all so passionate about it. And we were like family making this film.
But it's so great that a property as big as a book like Alexander was open to kind of blind casting. That was pretty cool.
And I feel that we don't get nowadays a lot of these comedy movies aimed toward children and families. So I think it's a really great addition. But you guys were talking about how fun it was to shoot. There's a scene particularly that I'd like to know about how it was like to make, because that river scene with the car and the flood and the water, how fun was it to do make it, and how difficult it was it to?
Yeah, fun is a big word. No, but he built it.
I know we built a river because we shot the movie in New Mexico in Albuquerque, and I was like, let's just put them in the river. And they said, no, there's E. coli in that water. And so we were like, okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a river on our stages. And so that river, and it was like a Disney ride. The RV was on a track under the water, and it would move up and down.
And it would move forward, back, up, down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would pivot, like you had to turn. And so like it was
It
really
would
cool.
fill with water, it would empty with water.
Yeah. It was very tedious work, but it was, I mean, I had a lot of fun.
But we were freezing.
We were freezing.
Yeah.
And the water was a little mucky, but
yeah, but they made it mucky.
They made it mucky on
It was
purpose.
clean water that they made mucky. Well, that's what I tell myself.
It needed to match the E. coli river.
That thinking about something that you guys said earlier as well, how do you think it's the importance, how do you measure the importance of bringing this Latino family front and center to the story? How do you think it modernizes Alexander's stories, and what do you think this story has to teach for all families across America and across the world?
Well, for me, I love that this is any family. Any family would go through something like this. I grew up doing road trips. We all grew up doing road trips, but also, that it's for a more global audience. Latinos are the fastest growing demographic in the United States, but worldwide, audiences are so diverse. And so to see a family like ours reflected in something as fun as Alexander, it's super refreshing, and it's super innovative, and it's a new point of view in dynamic storytelling. So I think it's important. What were you going to say about it?
I was going to say, for me, like in terms of the things, like the book meant so much to me as a little kid, because everything that's made for kids tends to be very happy and cheerful and happy-go-lucky. And this book was one of the few things that made me realize as a child that it's okay to have bad days, that some days are gonna suck, and that they're gonna be hard.
Yeah.
And that was like the theme that I wanted to really carry through to this, and the heart of the film, that is, that you're gonna have hard days and that they happen, but your family, is,
and that's normal.
And that's normal, and your family's gonna be there for you, and you get through it together. So I think that was the heart that I wanted to transplant.
Yeah.
There's an aspect of this movie that I really liked, and I was really anxious to ask you, Eva and Paulina, about it, because although Alexander is the main character, his name is on the title, there's a focus on the female relationships in this family that I think it's really interesting, right? Like, how the movie talks about this generational kind of gap of ideas between Lydia, Val, and then Mia. And for you guys, how was to bring these teams? Like, Mia wants her own things. She thinks she knows everything, but her mother and her grandmother wants her to respect a little bit of the tradition. So, how do you think these themes play in the movie, and how it was important for you guys as well?
I mean, I grew up with a household full of women, my grandma, my two older sisters, and my mom. And so women really, women connections are so important to me. I mean, the
Yeah.
connection that I have with Eva Longoria is just like incredible. And I've learned so much from her.
Soulmates.
We're
We're
soulmates.
We're the same person. She's just younger. 'Cause I grew up with 3 sisters
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just incredible to see. I mean, one of my favorite scenes is the one that I have with Rose, who plays the grandma Lydia, talking about the quinceañera and how you're a woman and you can choose your own future. You can choose your own path. You ask that boy out on a date, and I think women run the world, and they should run the world.
Well, we should.
We
We
should.
should run the world. No, I love
Agreed.
that. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but like it was a beautiful, you were like, yes, it was
Oh,
intentional.
Well,
But it was beautiful to play, yeah.
Yeah.
when I came in, it was actually like the female roles were a little like, they were there, but I was like, I grew up with a single mother. Like I was raised by my grandmother, my aunt, like there wasn't a lot of men around. And so it was easy for me to imagine. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make Eva drive this RV. Like, 'cause I'd seen my mom drive U-Hauls across state lines over and over again. Like it's not
Yeah.
a far-fetched thing to me to see. And
Yeah.
I think there was always this generational aspect in the script that I always loved of
Mhm.
trying to figure out how to be American, trying to figure out how to, but and honor your culture and your roots. And it's such a, as Mexican Americans, there's always like kind of that push and pull of trying to find the balance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Alexander is a little bit anxious, I think we all can relate to him in this like kind of situations that we have this feeling that okay, this is going to go wrong, nothing can help me. What kind of situations put you in this mood of this is gonna be a really terrible, horrible, no good,
God,
very bad?
I'm opposite of that. I'm always like, this is gonna be a great day. And there could be like clouds, it's about to rain, there's lightning. I'm like, isn't this amazing? Like, I'm not an anxious person.
I'm a very anxious person.
Are you?
And I get stressed really easily. I need a little bit more help in that area, but but I try my best. But it's so interesting those moments where you feel like everything's just terrible and there's no way of coming out with it. Your family or somebody, my friend always
Friends,
like
yeah.
comes in and they're like, wow. I always laugh even in the bad moments because it's just life.
Mhm.
See,
Thanks,
Alex.
guys. It was
Bye.
great.
Bye.
Bye.